Very good evening, everyone. Let's get moving. Let's get started. Please get your pen and paper. Hare Krishna. Fantastic. Let's get started. Very important call. Chest out, shoulders back. Please wear your headphones. 1 second. Just getting started. Okay. Okay. If I'm audible and if I am visible, please do type in the chat box, everyone. HB. HB is Haribol. Very good evening. Fantastic. We have members joining in. Hey, this kid is awesome. Yeah, Suresh, thank you. Suresh. By the way, Suresh is almost like close to 2 years now. Very consistent, amazing. Shiva, Atharva, Chetan, Ankit. iPhone is that Hamziga, Sarona, Ruchi, Krishna, joining in. Sumit, yeah, I can see. Sumit is a Shravan. Shravan are the people who are seekers. He is one of the many Shravans in our community. I see Sumit pretty much there on most of the group coaching calls. Happy to see you, Sumit, again. So let's get started, everyone. Very important, very, very important. This could be one of the most important group coaching calls. Let's explore. Dharna, very important. Hey, Nisarga, yeah, happy to see you, bro. Happy to see you. Everyone, keep your chest out, shoulders back. Chest out, shoulders back. Take your hands in the air. Let's create a little bit of energy, okay? Tighten up your fist, everyone. Tighten up your fist. Yes, and say a few words after me, which will create a lot of energy. You know, the golden lines. With a smile on your face, please repeat these words. I know who I am. I know who I am. I do not need anyone's validation. I do not need anyone's certification to tell me my true worth. I know I'm beautiful. I know I'm unique. I know I am a gift to the world. Say it louder, everyone. I honor myself. I respect myself. And I love myself very much. I honor myself. I respect myself. And I love myself very much. I am a gift to the world. I am a gift to the world. I am a gift to the world. Say it louder, everyone. Feel that energy. Say it louder with a smile. I am a gift to the world. I am a gift to the world. I am one of the finest human beings the world has ever seen. I'm one of the finest human beings the world has ever seen. I am a gift to the world. I am a gift to the world. I am a gift to the world. With this energy, we start today's session, everyone. Beautiful. Let's get going. Hari bol. Chaliye, start karte. So what are we going to explore in the chat box? Let me just share with you on the screen the things that we're going to explore. Okay. We're going to take it a little faster with the quick instructions. Let's start. So, please, my dear friends, the beautiful family, the Bodhis, let's have fun and explore. What are we going to explore together today? First is quick instructions. These are going to be very fast today. Second, we're going to explore the main concept of today. That is dharana. What is dharana? Yeah, and that's the most important thing we're going to explore today. And whatever your experiences of today, you can just share the WhatsApp group, whatever you learned. And you can also put like a Google review regarding your experience in the community. Okay, fantastic. So these are the three things we're going to explore. Let's get fast. I'll not, I'll quickly just jump onto very without wasting any time. I just want to tell you, my friend, wherever you are in your life, in your mental health journey, if you are struggling, if you're doing good, remember the focus should be on becoming, not just on overcoming. Overcoming will happen on its own. This journey is so much about on becoming more joyful, more peaceful, on becoming more lovable, more confident, more courageous. And all this overcoming that you want, like, oh, I want to overcome fear, worries, blah, 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 negative, these things will happen on its own. You focus, whatever you focus, you get more of it, right? So have that focus. To have that focus and to put this into reality, you have to follow something called as the Bodhisattva path, called as anxiety to enlightenment. I would highly recommend you to think about enlightenment. When I say enlightenment, I'll define, you might see gurus talking about these things. I believe very scientifically, very spiritually simple. Let me be very honest. Enlightenment is just the this experiential awareness of who you are. Just knowing that you are not the body, you're not your nationality, you're not your profession, you're not your body, not your mind. Beyond everything, what really is you? That is an Atman. When that intellectual understanding turns into experiential understanding, simple is enlightenment, right? And then you start looking at your mind from a distance, and then flows a lot of joy and happiness. It's as simple as that. Nothing, you know, that is the superhuman thing that will happen. But I would surely say that let's focus on that. And surely it is going to happen. It works. It has to be. It has to work. And for that, I have created a very strong process which you must follow. If ever you're struggling, just know this. You got to follow these two levels. The first is the self-discovery videos. You got to watch all the modules. It's there in your Bodhisattva journey. Okay. In this, why it is very important, my friend. Anything in life, in this journey, or you do anything outside, any psychological, spiritual journey you go through, first one needs to understand on an intellectual level. Little theory we need to understand, right? Only then the experience will be much deeper, right? So it's very important to understand on theory. See, and the beauty about these modules is because it's not just working on your inner energies and everything, but I have given you practical tools in those 5 modules, especially when problem hits in your real life, how to deal with it. Many of the teachers, maybe the gurus, will teach you, how to raise your energies, maybe your kundalini, or, do all the kriyas, different kriyas are there. But very rarely people will talk about how to deal the real life, when relationship doesn't work, when you have struggle, whenever the problems happen in your life, that is the time when our minds are tested, our characters are tested. How to deal your outside challenges of life, even those are discussed with methods in the 5 modules. Please do watch. And in those 5 modules, I've also talked about how to work upon your inner world, how to stay in the present moment, how to tackle when the problem really hits you. So everything from in to out, the inner world, the antarmukhi and the bahirmukhi, the inner world and outer world, both are beautifully, I have tried to put it. Please do watch. It is really going to really help you. Okay. That's the most important thing. Then the next thing I just want to tell you is Shakrishi meditation. Please do practice. Very, very, very powerful meditation. It is there in your Bodhisattva journey. This Shakrishi meditation will help you, to raise your energies to higher and higher levels. Okay. This will really put you in a great state. These 2 things are very important. There are 4 versions of Shakrishi. One is very long. If you can do it, nothing like it. Then there is a short, and then the very short is there of 36 minutes. You can do that as well. Okay. Anything you do is perfectly all right. The doing is important. Okay. So these are the two things you do, and surely you will move from the negative side to positive side. The more you go on the positive side, and I just want to show this to you, my friend. What is that positive side? The positive side is like this. This is the neutral. If you're in the center point, that means you're doing okay, you're doing fine in life, in your mental health and your internal level, life is going good. The more you go on the left side, life is, like more of the mental health issues. More you go on the right hand side, right hand side, you can call the RHS as more and more positivity in life, right? So the ultimate aim is to go as right RHS. The more you go on the RHS, the more happiness and joy, and ultimately is enlightenment. So just know this, follow this process, and do. And when you watch the self discovery videos, do make sure that you're also taking actions. Okay, so just make sure. Every week I say this because the one of the reasons I do the coaching call, these calls are because if you have lost somewhere in the middle of nowhere, these sessions will help you to regroup yourself, to reset yourself onto the journey once again. If you have lost the path, it's time to get on the path back again. And if ever you get any kind of confusion you have, any kind of issues you have in your life, even after doing this, you please contact me. I'm always there. You can quit on yourself, but I'm not going to quit on you until I don't help you to see the light at the end of the tunnel. With this, we start today's session, everyone. Got it? And one last time, I just want to say, focus on overcoming, not on becoming. Okay, let's do this. So let's explore today's beautiful, beautiful dharana. Okay, this important concept. Let's start. If you're really excited for this, everyone just type in the chat box, BIO. BIO is bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. If you're really excited for today's topic, dharana, just type BIO. That is bring it on. Bring it on. Bring it on. My AC's button. Where's my AC? Okay. Let's start. Very beautiful topic. Very less people will talk about this. Okay. This is something I think dharana is the most practical thing in when you start focusing. So let's get started, my friend. Yeah, I can see Lavanya, Chetan, Sarona. Okay, I can see many members. I'm reading your comments. Let's get started, my friend. Okay, as we're going to start, put your chest out, shoulders back, smile on your faces, everyone. Palms on your lap, palms facing upwards. And just take a deep breath, my friend. Take a very deep breath. Hold that breath for a few moments. And very, very slowly exhale from your mouth. Fantastic. Take one more deep breath. Very deep breath from your nostrils. Hold that breath for a few moments and then very slowly exhale from your mouth. Just calm yourself down. Fantastic. Let's start, my friend. Here we go. Let me share what is dharana. Here we go. Let's start. Hare Krishna. Dharana. There is something. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. You can start. You can see my arrow? Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi. This is like the 8. These are called the 8 limbs of yoga. You must have. How many of you have heard about the 8 limbs of yoga? Or how many of you have heard, about these words? If you have heard, just type H in the chat box. Yeah. If you have heard one or two or many, yeah. If you have heard more than one, just type me in the chat box. Did you have not heard anything? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Heard but didn't know much. Okay. Some of them, fine. So, very, very interesting. Very interesting. Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali, who has created this 8 limbs of yoga. Very, very important. You must have heard about Yama, Niyama. Now, many of you must have heard about asanas, right? You see a lot of people doing different asanas, right? You see this Shavasana, very, very famous. You different asanas are there. Bhujangasana, Vajrasan. See, asana is very much common, especially Ramdev Baba has helped reach it to different every nook and corner of India. So asanas is very much people are aware. Yoga Sutra of Patanjali, the purpose is this, my friend. Every step will take you to higher and higher levels. Yama, it starts with yama, then goes to niyama, then goes to yama niyama can be simply called as rules and regulations, right? Okay, put it simply, yama niyama in a way which I every week tell in our community, please follow the bodhisattva path. Please follow the bodhisattva path. It can be called as yama niyama. What is the bodhisattva path, which I usually tell in our community? That is the yama niyama in a say, rules and regulations, right? See, well, let me just show you. See this? I say this today. I haven't said it, but this is the bodhisattva path. I say this. If you really want to have a great mental and spiritual life, please follow this 4 steps, right? Every day. I say this. Please watch the self-discovery videos. Please practice Shakrishi meditation. Attend the evening ecstasy call. Or sleep like a baby. Even you can do that before going to sleep. And please follow a healthy physical lifestyle. Take your meals on time. Rest enough. Exercise. In a way, my dear friend, this can be called as yama, the external disciplines, and niyama are the internal disciplines. No matter in your spiritual journey, where you want to reach, what you want to become, nothing can ever be achieved in life until unless there's no discipline. ठीक है ना? Discipline, अनुशासन सब कुछ है, right? So yama niyama especially talks about certain rules and regulations. So we're not going to go deep in everything because it's going to take hours and hours to explore the whole 8 limbs of yoga. And it is divided into different padas, which is called as what do you call it? Samadhi pada, sadhana pada, vibhuti pada, and kaivalya pada. So simply putting it, there is something called as yoga sutras. It's like sutras. Sutras could be simply said as formulas, right? So in Sanskrit, certain lines or sutras are given by Patanjali, who was a great sage. He gave us a very scientific process on how to tap into the highest potential, inner potential, how to enhance our energies to higher and higher levels. So he gave the 4 padas, as I just said, Samadhi pada, Sadhana pada, Vibhuti pada, and Kaivalya pada. And in each pada, he has given certain sutras. And these sutras really talk about how you can elevate yourself on higher and higher levels, right? Even if you will, the different practices, there are many gurus who do. You have Swami Ramdev, he especially talks about pranayama and asana, okay, of what do you call, in the exercise that he does, or the asanas, whatever in the Astha you see usually on the Astha channel. So he talks about asana pranayam. You must have heard about Kapal Bhati. You must have heard about Anulom Vilom. There are so many Bhasrika. These are the kind of, what do you call, are the pranayams. So any which way. So let's get slowly move to dharana. Yes. Do many in yoga. Yeah. Just know there was this beautiful human being, Maharishi Patanjali, who thought, how can a human being reach to its highest potential? So he created this Yoga Sutras. Okay. Yoga Sutras. And in that Yoga Sutra, there were 4 chapters, as I just said, the 4 padas. And they were specially talking about these 8 limbs of yoga. You call like the 8 legs of yoga, right? So yeah. So slowly you're going to move to dharana and how dharana is going to help you. So just know this. So it starts with yama, niyama. Okay. So what comes in yama, niyama, will not go deep into that because our main focus is dharana, right? Dharana. What is dharana and how to do it? We're going to explore this. But quickly, we are just going to scheme through it. So yama, niyama can be specially called. See, it starts, this is the first, right? Everyone, just focus on the right. This yama. This is the first limb. It starts with yama, niyama, asan, pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, and this is the highest state, Samadhi. Then in Samadhi, you have a Savikalpa Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi. There's a lot of things are there, So let's slowly move. Just enjoy this. So let's look at Yama Niyama quickly. Yama Niyama rules and regulation. In Yama, they say Ahinsa mat karo, Satya bolo, Asteya. It's like non-stealing, right? Brahmacharya also, Brahma. It's like the acharan of a Brahma. It's by being unified, being celibate as well. Aparigraha, simplicity. So just know this. Yama has these rules and regulation. You can explore elsewhere. Quickly, I'm just saying Niyama. See, these are the external ethics. Bahar ki duniya mein, you have to have ahimsa, satya, asteya, brahmacharya, aparigraha. ठीक है? In internal world, shaucha, how you purify, you keep yourself clean, cleanse, santosha, that is contentment, tapas, you are disciplined, you sacrifice for others. Swadhyaya can also be called as self-study, this contemplation. When we sit one day and we kind of explore, who am I? Ye main kaun hu? And when we start contemplating something positive, adhyayam, it's like self-inquiry. It's called as swadhyaya. I love that. I've done that a lot in my life. Okay, Ishwara Pranidhana, surrendering to the highest energy, the Parameshwar. So, but don't take it that seriously. Just enjoy it. These are Yama Niyama. Okay, so just remember this: Yama Niyama. Asan. Many of you know this. Alag alag asan hote na? Yeah. You have the mudras. You have the asanas. Different asanas you have heard about. So that is asana. Many people know. As I said, Ramdev Baba has really been given a lot of credit for making it reach a lot of people. Pranayam, pranayam, it's kind of called as a breath control, or you see, you do the Anulom Vilor, Sukha Kriyam, you have a lot of meditative, so it's how you use your breath. Yeah. If you must have observed many of the night sessions we do, the evening ecstasy calls, or any meditative session you must have done, I focus much on the breathing. That I asked you, please breathe in with the count of 7, hold for the count of 7, and exhale from your mouth. So it's your breath and your mind and your body are so much connected. Your breath is such an integral part of who you are. This is magic. Who's breathing for you? Have you ever thought about it someday? Who's making it happen? Take your hand, just hold for a few minutes, 30 seconds. Hold for as long as possible. Hold your nostrils. Karo, karke dekho. It becomes so difficult to hold for a few minutes. The most sacred thing that is happening inside of us is this automation of breath. Somebody is going inside. It's so beautiful. Have you ever thought about it? It's not just the breath. There is prana that is going. The prana is going in, the prana are coming out. And breath is a vehicle, by the way. Don't consider, the breath, no, it's very sacred. You might have like a moment of enlightenment if you start thinking about this. It's such a magical thing here. I mean, this is truly the pranayam is like the prana, the vyayam of prana. Vyayam of prana. That's the exercise of your prana. The prana is going in via breath, and it is vitalizing your body. So it's happening through breath. You need the pranas through breath. Through food you get, through the food you eat, you get that prana, right? Through the 5 elements, you get the prana through water, through air, through the earth, right? So from various elements, from ether, space. So this prana is very, very important, So how to control this prana, So not just the controlling of the breath, but how to control your prana is very, very, it's a beautiful science that has been taught to us by, thankful to Maharishi Patanjali. It's much deeper, but just know this, how to use, you must have heard Bandh Lagana, Tribandh Lagana. Anybody has done inner engineering? By the way, anybody here who has done inner engineering here? If anybody who has done it, just type me in the chat box. Sadhguru's inner engineering, and if you are initiated into Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya? Nobody? Nobody. Interesting. I have done everything. You talk about it. In the Himalayas, you talk, I've done everything. That's why I'm doing this for a reason. I've experienced literally everything. I've done Kriya Yoga, I've done Sudarshan Kriya, I've done transcendental meditation, everything literally which is famous, just to test out what really the magic is. So, who you see right now, what I'm doing, I've come after a long experience. So, but what everybody or every guru that you see, especially who are doing the yogic practices, maybe the hatha yoga, anywhere, everybody is trying to use their breath and the exercises, the body, using the body and using the breath. People are trying to heal you or to uplift you in your spiritual journey. Even if you do inner engineering someday, you know, uh, even Sadhguru Jaki Vasudev has a technique which he calls as a Shambhavi Kriya, Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. In that, he will help you with his asanas. You have to go through certain asanas and then certain breath work, right? So just know that any guru who's trying to do anything, he's taking from the main source, the biggest authority in yoga is Yoga Sutra of Patanjali. Okay, so it's nothing that is coming from the skies. Okay, anybody on the planet Earth. So one source is the Yoga Sutras, and the other is the Nath Sampradaya, from which they do the Hatha Yoga. Okay, so just know this. Yeah, Hatha Yoga is something which is from body. They think there are two schools of yoga. One is Hatha Yoga, the other is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Patanjali says that from mind you can get into higher states. You can get samadhi through mind. Hatha Yoga says that using the certain poses, you have to, because they say if your body is healthy, your mind is healthy, so you got to work upon your body. So that's a very different process. Okay, but both aim are different, and in both you will see asana and pranayam. Okay, any which way. I'm just giving you a background just to enjoy, to give you a curiosity. So this is what we say, pranayam. Okay, pranayam, as I said quickly, I told you, pratyahar. You see, here is the withdrawal of senses. Pratyahar means what? Because we are going slowly, and then we'll touch dharana. What is dharana? Okay. So it starts with yam, niyam, asan, pranayam. Then let's go to pratyahar. Pratyahar means withdrawal of senses. Yeah, vipassana. I've done vipassana as well. Beautiful. So pratyahar means what? Ahar. Ahar का मतलब पता है किसी को हिंदी में क्या होता है? Any guesses? Food. Absolutely. Ahar मतलब food. Khana. Beautiful. Ruchi said, Nisarga said, fantastic. Ahar means food. Pratyahar or pratyahar means withdrawal. Pratyay means withdrawal. Ahar means food. So withdrawal of food. Now, what is withdrawal of food? Withdrawal for food here means withdrawal, the food for your mind. Whatever the food, what is the food for your mind? In the information that you get, right? The information that you get through your five senses, through your ears, you hear something, kuch suna. The information that you get through your ears, the information that you see, you read, you hear, yeah, you see. So through your eyes, through your ears, through maybe touch, through the smell, through the taste, right? The five senses that you have, So five are the karma indriyas, five are the gyan indriyas. Okay. So ears, eyes, smell, touch, taste, right? If you eat something, you get some gyan, na? Are ye meetha hai. This is sweet. This is sour, right? You get certain taste. This is so bad. This is so delicious. So you get certain knowledge, right? You get certain knowledge through fragrance as well. This smells good, right? You're getting some knowledge. So whatever knowledge that you get, the food that you get to your mind through the five senses, when you stop that food entering towards your mind, that is called as pratyahar. When you stop taking the food for your mind, that is when you stop taking food from your senses, that is what you call pratyahar. Pratyahar. So that's why many of the time I've said that In order to overcome your mental health issues, it's very, very important that you make sure that you do not spend enough time on your social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Yeah. Many of our members are there who have literally deleted their social media accounts, right? Many of you are there. I think Vineet is there. Yeah. Atharva is there. Yeah. Yes, yes. Information that you get from your senses is what I'm saying. Information that you guess. Yeah, the Atharva has deleted the Instagram. Beautiful, fantastic. So, yes, even Vineet has done that. Beautiful. What does that see? No Insta, no Facebook. Fantastic. Even in my phone, you will not see Insta and Facebook. Right. For work, I do go on laptop, get the work done, but in my phone, it is not there. The simplicity is just this, my friend. If there is too much of information, take a simple is like this. For example, if you want to if you want to go and run, okay, if you want to go and do a lot of exercise, let's say you want to go to gym or run, and you have eaten a thali of food, bahut khana kha liya, kheer kha liya, you have eaten so much of food, and then you want to go and exercise, is it going to be possible? You can't do that. You have to eat very light food if you want to go and do exercises. Simple is this, my friend. If you want to do anything in your spiritual life, or even just if you want to keep your mind light and relax, the food through your five senses should be minimum. I'm not saying it is completely, we can get rid of it as much as possible. Okay. So pratyahar means then the withdrawal of information which gets into your through your five senses. Okay. As it is, the information is going to come from people, friends, and family through Insta. There's so many other sources. Imagine life 30 years before. Ask ask your elders, 20 years, 25 years before. Even people even I am of the 90s, you know, the life was so simple, you know. There was so many, they were there. The film used to come on Friday night at 9 p.m. The films are gonna used to release. And there used to be so much of excitement to go and watch the film because there was no other source of entertainment. People were more peaceful when there was less technology, right? The more and more entertainment sources have come up, the OTT is the social media, there's so many of information that is coming. This is disturbing the mind. Okay, you can also please check Social Dilemma, of beautiful, it's a documentary on how the social media platforms are trying to get your attention. Okay, and you have very less control. And social media is one of the biggest reasons for mental health issues. Biggest reasons. Okay, so just remember, you know the less information you get, it's much easier to tackle with the mind. The more information you get, the difficult it is to tackle with your mind. Okay, so withdrawal is just this. Pratyahar is very simply, it's withdrawing, stopping the knowledge coming from the outside world. It can also be called as switching on and off in your life, right? Simply telling, like, for example, right now I have got into a different character. Right now I'm talking to you. Okay, I can then go and be different with my friend. I can be something different in my business, right? Switching your characters, on and off. Pratyahar, very, very important. But the basic idea is just this withdrawal of senses, stopping the food or the information that is coming from, usually you see people meditate. Now, usually we also meditate with our eyes closed. Why do we don't usually people don't meditate with their eyes open. You're watching, yeah, kya chal raha hai, we don't meditate like that. Because why? If you keep your eyes open, some information is going to come from the outside world, and you will start interpreting it, and the thoughts will start coming in. So just know this withdrawal of senses. Okay, very, very simple. Hare Krishna. So itna yaad rakho, aage बढ़ते हैं. Then let's go to dharana and dhyan. Okay, let's do this. Fantastic, beautiful. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. Okay, so let's do this. Kidhar gaya? Okay. Please take notes. We are slowly. Where's that thing? Give me a second. Okay. So let's come to dharana, my friend. What is dharana? What is dharana? Let's explore dharana. Okay. Okay. I think I had Just wanted to show you PPT 1 minute, but fantastic. 1 moment. Okay, let's skip that thing a bit. Fantastic. Okay. अब तो ही गया. Okay, that certain PPT is not there any which way. Okay, let's focus back. Hari bol. So, one of the purpose. What is the purpose of we'll come to dharana, but you must be thinking, why did Patanjali created? Why did Patanjali created Yoga Sutras? One of the reasons that Patanjali created Yoga Sutras because whatever vrittis we have, the thoughts that we have, how can that thoughts come to literally zero? That is one of the most important reasons, right? That Yoga Sutras were created. Yes, I'll share with you a very. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, any which way. Let's continue with this. Dharana. So we saw Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam. Then we saw Pratyahar. Okay. Let's come back to Dharana. Very, very interesting. Our today's main topic. What is Dharana, by the way? Dharana. Dharana means, in a simple language, it can be called as very simplistically one pointed attention. Okay, I'll explain this. One pointed attention is dharana, commonly called as concentration, but it is much different than concentration. One pointed attention, if let's look at the very simple example of that would be like, people usually talk about, Tratak. Anybody has heard about Tratak? Tratak is when you put a flame, right? You put a flame, you put like a candle or something, and you'll keep looking at the flame. And you look at it without your eye blinking. If you anyone, yeah. Many of you, Shubhangi has heard, Siddesh has heard, Neetaji has heard. So what you're doing is you're not concentrating. You have a one-pointed attention. Okay. Anyway, I'll just share with you. Okay, so here it was. I've created I wanted to share with you the sutras. Okay, I found out, thankfully. Okay, so everyone just look at this. What is yoga? The purpose of yoga is this. Yeah, you're able to see the screen? Are you able to see the words? Just type Y in the chat box. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. This is the purpose of yoga. Okay. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha means what? Let's look at it. Let's break it. Okay. Yoga is the restraining the mind stuff from taking various forms. Okay. Simply, so mind has various forms. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Yogassa chitta vritti nirodha. As you can see here. Yeah. Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. A lot of vrittis. Vrittis are just this. There are 5 types of vrittis. We'll not get into it, but just remember those thoughts which really trouble us usually. Okay, they come in different flavors, which is called as vrittis. They come in 5 forms. We will not get into this, but just remember to stop this cessation of thoughts, to stop your thoughts and be at nothingness. That is the purpose of Yogassa chitta vritti nirodha. Nirodha matlab stopping. Okay, chitta simply could be called as mind. Yogas chitta vritti, chitta ki vritti jo hoti hai, the vritti of your mind. Nirodha is to stop. That is the purpose of yoga, and in that you will understand what is dharana. Let's look at this, everyone. So I just told you there are samadhi pada, sadhana pada, vibhuti pada, kaivalya pada. Let's look at the definition. Okay, many, rather than me just simply saying what is dharana, let's say what is Patanjali wants to say about dharana, and then I'll tell you how to use dharana in everyday life. Okay, let's look at this. Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Okay, desha means what? Place. The literal meaning of desh, when we say Bharat Desh, simply what we are saying, it's a place, right? So the country name has also come from the word desha. Desh eventually means a place, So that's why the name is called as Bharat Desh or jo bhi. Desh means place. Okay. So what is the purpose of dharana? देश बंध चित्तस्य धारणा. Okay. मतलब क्या? Let's look at it. Dharana is holding the mind to one place, object, or point. Very, very simple. Okay. Dharana is holding the mind to one place, object, or point. Okay. That is dharana. It's one pointed attention. Many people say, sir, I'm not able to concentrate. My mind goes here and there. If I meditate, my mind goes here and there. If I study something, my mind goes here and there. Right. Dharana means when you do that thing, you're just there. Just there. When you're watching something, you're just watching. When you're listening something, you're just listening. When you're touching something, you're just touching. When you're eating something, you're just eating. That is dharana. One thing, and you're totally into it. For example, if you must have seen somebody playing a tabla player. Imagine that tabla player. Imagine their hands. They're playing tabla. They're just doing like this. If they start thinking, oh, what dinner are we going to get? What lunch we're going to get? Or are people liking the way I'm playing? If they start thinking, they'll mess up with the whole tune, the whole tabla that they are playing. They are totally there. Their hands are just there. That is called as dharana. I'm going to tell you how to use it. There are two types of dharana as well. One pointed attention. Just there means there. Even Srila Prabhupada, the founder of International Society of Krishna Consciousness, also called as ISKCON, he said, "Jab main pani pita hu, to bas pani hi pita hu." Many people did not understand what he said. He said, when I'm drinking water, I'm just drinking the water. That means he is in dharana. He's doing nothing. Many of the times we drink water, but we are thinking something. Okay. We're eating, but we are thinking something. We are doing certain activity, but our minds are at a different place. That is not a dharana. Okay. Dharana means jo hai, what you're doing, you're totally there. Getting it? That's it. Dharana is just that. How to do it? Let me tell you how to use the dharana. So dharana is desha bandha chittasya dharana. Okay. अपने चित्त को किसी भी एक स्थान पर, नाभि, हृदय या माथे पर बांधना, लगाना, ठहराना या केंद्रित करना धारणा कहलाती है. Okay. Desh means place. Bandha means holding or binding. See here the word is holding. Bandha मतलब hold. चित्तस्य मतलब mind. ये होता है धारणा. देश बंध चित्तस्य धारणा. So let me give you very, very simple. Let's just jump onto what do you call the main few ways to do the dharana. चलिए आगे बढ़ते हैं. How can you actually get into dharana? कैसे करते हैं? We are going to do the experimentation also of dharana. Okay. So let's do this. What is dharana? We saw its use, focus on outside in the voices. So what is the use of dharana? When you are totally into something, let's say when I'm speaking, I'm totally here. I'm not worried how many people are there. I'm not worried if you're liking or not. I'm not worried. I've got to meet few friends, some people outside after a couple of hours. Nothing. I'm just here. That is dharana. So I'm totally focused on expressing myself. Okay. So the beauty about dharana is this, that this chattering of the mind just disappears. Simple. When you hold your mind on one place, it's certain that thing you decide. You decided. When you do that, the chattering, there's no thought. You remember what was the purpose of yoga? Yeah. चित्तवृत्ति निरोधः. योगस चित्तवृत्ति निरोधः. चित्त की वृत्ति का निरोध स्टॉप करना. Yeah. So when you are at one thing, you're totally there in that moment. You're doing something. The chattering of the mind disappears. If you can just go back, how many of you have ever, if you can just go back and think about a moment, you must be dancing with friends. Maybe you are having a great conversation and you realize that time just flew and you were not even thinking. Things were just happening. Magic ho raha tha. You were just speaking. Maybe, you must have many people say, when I watch a web series, I don't know, like when I watch the whole web series at night. So I finish all the episodes. You are into dharana, right? Yeah. Many people say we have attention span ka issue. It's just that you're not able to connect to that thing. If you're in dharana, you're just there. In dharana, the thoughts doesn't come, number one. Number two, time just flows like anything. You don't understand. Like the time just disappears. So that is the beauty. So dharana is very, very important. Okay. It just helps you to be in the present moment, total present moment. Yeah. Types, ways. So there are types. How many of you really experienced some? Have you just typed me in the chat box if you have ever experienced something like that? That you were so much into that moment that the time just flew off and thoughts were not coming. You have experienced something like that? Just type me in the chat box. Yeah, yesterday Ruchi said, yeah. It's called as mindfulness also, sir. It is called as mindfulness also, sir. Now, somebody is saying it is called as mindfulness. To a larger extent, mindfulness, yes, it can be called as mindfulness as well. To a larger extent, yes. Especially when you choose any in mindfulness, usually, if you're mindful of anything, that's very true. If you watch your breath, if you're just watching your breath, that can be your mindfulness. But if you look at dharana here, dharana can also be internal and external. Yes, mindfulness to a larger extent, it is true. Many of the people, when they meditate, right? Many of the people, when they meditate, people say that we are meditating, but people are usually into dharana, right? So we'll come to that. Yes, mindfulness to a larger extent. Yes, it is true. It is mindfulness. It is mindfulness comes from Gautama the Buddha. Yes, and Gautama Buddha came earlier than yoga, than Patanjali. Okay, so yes. So Gautam Buddha introduced mindfulness, or more than that, you can say vipassana. He introduced why upasana. So to a larger extent, it is true. But in detailing, in practice, it changes a bit. But largely, it is very much close to each other, knitting. Okay, so yes, I'm feeling when doing Shakrishi meditation. Wow, right now, otherwise saying beautiful. Lavanya saying, I'm feeling when doing Shakrishi meditation. Beautiful, beautiful. That is a great sign. So, inner and external. So, here you can say mindfulness, but the beauty with dharana is, let's do one day chakra dharana. There are two ways of doing dharana. One is the internal way, dharana, right? What you can do is the internal way, and then I'll talk about the external way. Internal way is you just have to close your eyes, quietly sit in a very comfortable position, any asana, Siddhasana, Vajrasana, cross-legged position. With choosing any mudra, you can just sit quietly. And then you can get your total focus and attention with your eyes closed on any of your chakras. Okay, this is called a chakra dharana. We have 7 chakras: Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipur. Light chala gaya. Okay, so Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipurka. Then you have Vishuddhi, Agna, and Sahasrar. Yes, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipurka, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Sahasrar. So the chakras that we have to focus on we have to close our eyes and we have to choose any chakra. That chakras, one can just see on Google or elsewhere. You can do the videos. If you want, we'll do a chakra dharana once as well. I'll show you where is your Mooladhara, where is your Mooladhara, where is your Swadhisthana, Where is your Manipuraka? Where is your Vishuddhi Agna Sahasrar, right? Every chakra, we are going to show it has, every chakra has color as well. Every chakra has a sound as well, right? What are chakras? Will not get into this. It is like 72,000 nadis are there. The energy channels are there. And to every energy channel, there is a junction point is there. The seven main junction point are called as the seven chakras. Got it? Any which way, just remember simple. So simple, we are going to do once, not today but one day we'll do a chakra dharana. Is before doing the chakra dharana, I'll show you the different seven energy channels, or the energy, what do you call, the chakras. And then I'll ask you to just get your, with your eyes closed, just focus, on any of your chakras. Okay. Yeah. So for example, Vishuddhi, this Vishuddhi chakra is there. So you just have to focus with your eyes closed, just focus on that chakra fantastically. Just closing your eyes, just focusing on that chakra consistently. If your mind goes here and there, come back to the chakra. Total focus just on the chakra. If you want, you can focus on the Agna. Usually we do the Soham Dhyan. In Soham meditation, there comes a moment, even in Chakrishi, when I ask you to just lift your eyes a bit, lift your head a bit and visualize as if there is a flame. And when you focus between your eyebrows into the flame, that is also kind of a chakra dharana. Got it? That is a chakra dharana. When I ask you to close your eyes and just watch your breath going in and out, that watching breath is also chakra, it is also dharana. So it could be watching, see, anything when you close your eyes and you choose any point of focus, that is called as dharana. This is internal dharana. It could be focusing on your chakras. It could be focusing on your breath. It could be focusing between your eyebrows. Right? That is internal. That is something which is not outside. That is called as internal dharana that you do. Got it? Fantastic. Even if you ever do the inner engineering of Sadhguru Jaggi Vasudev, in Shambhavi Kriya as well, something that is very famous of Sadhguru. At the end of the Shambhavi Kriya, the last step in Shambhavi is simply this: closing your eyes, lifting your eyebrows a bit, focusing between your eyebrows, and being aware towards your breath. That is a dharana. So many of the people around the world and globe who talk about meditation, many people are not really doing the meditation. I'll be very honest, like 95 to 98% of the people are not doing meditation. Everybody is doing a dharana. Okay. So we have understood dharana, internal. Okay. I'll talk about dhyan and then samadhi as well. Very, very simply. And then I'll tell you how to do dharana in everyday life. Because I don't want this to be like a theoretical workshop or theoretical session. I want you to practice this in real time. Okay, very, very important. So internal dhara. How many of you got the internal dhara? If you've got it, just type GI in the chat box. Internal dhara. Samjha? हम external dharana की तरफ जाएंगे, which is the most important thing. Yes, sir, got it. Ruchi got it. Sadesh got it. अभी बाहर की धारणा क्या होती है? Right? How to practice? I told you chakra dharana, internal, external dharana. See, again, let me show to you let's go back to the definition of dharana by Patanjali, not me, by Patanjali. Patanjali क्या कहते हैं? धारणा क्या है? धारणा क्या है? किधर गई धारणा? देश बंध चित्तस्य धारणा, अपने चित्त को किसी भी एक स्थान पर नाभि, हृदय या माथे पर बांधना, लगाना, ठहराना या केंद्रित करना धारणा कहलाती है. धारणा इज होल्डिंग द माइंड टू वन प्लेस, ऑब्जेक्ट और पॉइंट. नाउ दिस पॉइंट और ऑब्जेक्ट कुड बी इंटरनल and it could be external. External, how? External is like this. This is the most crucial part of today's session, everyone. Very, very important. Okay. I'll explain how you can use dharana in the outside world when you're actually living. That's the beauty. I personally consider that whatever meditation you do, that is just a taste. If you do Shakrishi, you are just tasting it. You have to carry that meditation into real life. वो लेके चलना है in the real life. That is true practice. ये बस स्वाद लिया है मेडिटेशन में, शाकृषि किया या कोई भी ध्यान करो आप, व्हाटएवर मेडिटेशन, यू आर जस्ट टेस्टिंग इट, यू गॉट द टेस्ट, वाओ, let's keep the taste throughout the day. That is called dharana. Simply, if you call what is meditation, extension of dharana is dhyan. That one pointed attention that you have, if you have it for a second, you have to elongate. The elongation of dharana is dhyan. धारणा हो सकती है, कर सकते हो, ध्यान होता नहीं है. प्यार किया नहीं जाता, हो जाता है. वैसा ध्यान किया नहीं जाता, हो जाता है. Dhyan cannot be done. It happens. If you want to do proper dhyan, you should know how to do proper dharana. Okay, let's come back. How you can do dharana in outside world. Outside world, I'll tell you very, very important, very, very, just look at this very, very properly, focus on this. We are doing this very practically. I want you to choose any object. Everyone, you can writing a notes first of all. This is something I'm talking after practicing dharana for many years. It comes from true experience. Outside dharana is practicing using your senses. Okay, I'll do this right now. How to I want to make this very simplistic, no confusion. I'll take this. Imagine there is a ball, okay, or a big circle like this. This circle. This is dharana. The core dharana is when you make the dharana even one pointed. How to explain? Let's do this. For example, take any object, everyone. Take any object in your whatever that is there around you. Take any object. Or if you can't take any object, look at anything that is around you. Okay, for example, just move away from me from the screen. Just hear me out. I'll explain what I mean. Just look at anything that is around you. Okay, in your vicinity right now, in your focus, whatever you can see. You can't see what is back, right? You can't see below your ears. Whatever you can see, please see in your focal length. Whatever you can see, please see that. Just hear me out right now. Okay, you're seeing it, right? You're watching something in front of you. Okay, fine. It's a big image. Whatever you see there, you can see a lot of things in front of you, right? Yeah, fantastic. Now, in that, choose something more specific. If you can see a wall with many, many photos, I want you to choose one photo or maybe one photo frame, or maybe that you can see many objects in front of you. Choose any one object. Right now, narrow it down. Getting it? Narrow it down, whatever you can see. Okay, for example, you have seen a photo, many photos you have seen, like a photo, there's a photo frame you have chosen. Narrow it even further down. In that photo frame, I want you to just, go very micro. See something even more narrow. Maybe you can see, maybe something even more narrow. Maybe you can just see a circle there. Maybe if there is whatever that is there, just narrow it down. Just narrow it down even further. Narrow it down and just focus on that one point. And just be there till I count till 50. In my mind, I'll count till 50. And keep focusing on that one point. Use your eyes, nothing. You don't have to use your ears, no touch, no feel, nothing. Just your eyes here right now. Narrow it down, just focus on that one point. बस उसी को देखो, कुछ नहीं करना है. Narrow it even further on if you can. Got it? Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. या वानी, बस उस पे ध्यान. Okay. You can look back, come back to the video. Again, let me explain. For example, what should I? Okay, for example, I have this photograph. Okay. What you have done, again, let me explain if you have done it right or not. For example, in front of me, there is a wall. This is the complete picture I have in front of me. Complete lot of things are there. So I've narrowed it down. Okay. For example, I see this photo. Okay. I see this photo and I narrowed it down even further. Okay. I've narrowed it down to just this photo, then narrowed it down to Krishna, then narrowed it down to just the face, then narrowed it down to just between the eyebrows of Krishna. You understand? Now, what is practicing outside dharana is using your senses totally in that moment. That is using all your five senses in the moment, then choosing any one sense. In this particular case, we just use the eyes. And when you use your eyes, you see images, certain things around you. And in that, you choose even more micro image. And then onto that image, you see something very particular. That is dharana. That is actual practice of dharana. For example, let's use the ears. Everyone, just close your eyes for a moment. Please kindly close your eyes. I will give you the taste of dharana, which you can practice in everyday life. Kindly, please close your eyes and just follow my process the way I'm saying. Kindly close your eyes. Take a deep breath. So that just take a deep breath once. Gehri saas lo. Hold that breath for a few moments and slowly exhale. Keep your eyes closed. And my dear friend, just randomly hear sounds around you. Whatever sounds you could hear, just pay 100% attention to different sounds around you. The random sounds you can hear. I'll count in my mind till 50. You just notice the sounds around you. Even if your mind goes here and there, come back to the sounds. Just hear the sounds very, very consciously. Different random sounds. In those sounds, choose any one repetitive sound. There could be many repeating sounds. Choose only one sound and just focus on that particular sound. It could be it could be anything. Just choose that one. Narrow it even further. You don't have to avoid other sounds, but your focus intentionally is on that one specific sound. Now shift to another sound. Another sound, just focus on that other sound right now. Let's do that. Total attention on the other sound. You can hear the other sounds as well, but focus on the second specifically onto the other sound. Fantastic. Kindly open your eyes. How many of you felt, at least for a moment, that you were there totally in the moment, thoughtless, at least for 1 second? How many of you felt that sense of dharana? Just type me in the chat box. At least for a moment, you're like, okay, I was just there. कुछ नहीं था, बस वही था. बस. Siddesh felt it. Anil, Siddesh, Tripti. Even for a second. Dharana, nobody will tell you in the world. Dharana is narrowing down your attention. It's not just focusing, but narrowing down. Using your five senses, you have to use your five senses in the moment. See, we just have a moment to live. We don't see when you go in past and future, these are psychological circles that we go. Future में क्या होगा, past में ये हो गया फलाना ढिंगा, whatever that is a psychological circus. That is not life. That is the corruption of life. That is a misuse of life. We only have a moment to live. If you live for 99, or let's say you live for 99 years, okay, let's take if you live for 99 years, how many seconds you're going to live? In 1 hour, there are 60 minutes. In 1 minute, there are 60 seconds. 1 second is 1 moment. You calculate. 1 second means 1 moment. If you calculate it by 99 years, that many seconds you get to live. We only can live in the moment. It's not a choice. It's the truth of life. And in that moment, if you're going in your thought processes, you're missing the moment. ये विचार में भाग गए तुम, अरे कल होगा ऐसे, वो life, you wasted the moment. So the purpose of the mind is to think, basically, of the past, future, to make sense of the world and everything. But the purpose of the mind is to think of the past and future, and to prepare yourself for the future, to create beautiful future, maybe to imagine, to write poetry, maybe create beautiful drawings, paintings, maybe design a beautiful future. You have to think. You can do that consciously. So mind is designed for that. Another plenty of reasons, but that's the basic thing. And for the future and for the past. So thoughts can be used for the past, to learn from the past and to plan for the future. That is the purpose of the mind. The purpose of the body is to carry this thing within us, right? That's called as body, right? हर एक चीज की body होती है ना, इसकी भी body है, phone का body है, yeah. So we are like covering. Body is a covering. So we are not the body. We are not the mind. Who are we? We are the consciousness. So what is the purpose of the consciousness? Is to live. And living can only happen in the present moment. And how can that living be actually practiced? By using the senses in the present moment. जब तुम जो कर रहे हो वही करो. What you're doing, just do that. And how you going to do that? Choose, again I'll share how to use dharana, how to live in the present moment is number one, by using your senses totally involved in this moment. Number one. Now, out of these five senses, you choose one. Narrow it down. Remember the formula, narrow it down. So पांच सेंस से मैं कौन सा यूज करूं? Ears, सुनूं, क्या मैं देखूं, क्या मैं टच करूं? करना तो सब कुछ है, लेकिन हमारा फोकस कहां पे है? The beauty is, you cannot say that I don't want to use other senses. No, obviously you're going to use all the senses. But where is your focus? For example, when we saw a painting, whatever you saw the whole picture in front of you, then you narrowed it down. Then you narrowed it down. Bang, you saw something specific. That is dharana. You have the five senses, you're going to live. But you choose in that moment which sense you want to dominate. You want to focus more. I hope you're getting it. It's very difficult to explain, but I hope you're getting it. So you have the five senses. To use your senses in the present moment is dharana. If you narrow it down using any one sense, and even in that one sense, you choose one specific point, that is the highest experience of dharana. Right now, my total focus is on self-expression. That is the only focus I have. Does it mean that I'm not hearing sounds? Obviously, I'm hearing. I can hear the tick-tick of the clock. I can hear the sound of the AC. I can feel the touch of my shirt. I can experience the saliva in my mouth. For sure, but where is my focus? I will choose the focal point. And the narrower you choose the focal point, the beautiful the dharana gets. And when you use the narrower, soon what will happen, There will be no thought. There will be nothingness. That nothingness is called as dhyana. जब धारणा अच्छी होती है तो ध्यान हो जाता है. Dhyan is simply डूइंग नथिंग, कुछ ना करना ही ध्यान है। सबसे बड़ी मुश्किल है जिंदगी में कि क्या कुछ ना कैसे करें। करना तो इजी है यार, बट ना करना सबसे मुश्किल है। When you live totally in dharana, dhyan happens. Always remember, dhyan cannot be done, dhyan happens. Okay, so that is dharana. So, what you can practically, how can we do this? How can we use dharana in our day to day life? In day to day life, see, as a part of practice, if you want, you can just, you can do internal dharana. You can just do the chakra dharana. You can visualize any chakra you want, closing your eyes, and you can just get your focus on there. Or if you want, you can just think about any god you want. Let's say Krishna, you're in total love with Krishna, you're just focusing on Krishna. So when we do the Krishna meditation, so I'm taking you into dharana space, you know. So you can just focus on Krishna, and just Krishna matlab Krishna. That is internal dhyan. You can focus on the chakras, you can focus on a deity or a god. You can focus on your breath going in and out. You can focus between your eyebrows. That is internal dharana. But agar aage chale gaye, if you're going in your real life, okay, if you want to give a presentation in front of 100 people or 200 people, if you want to propose your girlfriend or anyone you love, you want to play sport, you want to do anything, that's something you're doing in real life, right? So when you're doing that, just do that. That is dharana. And when you're in dharana, dhyan will happen. You're enlightened. For example, if you're giving a presentation in front of few people, you got to just focus, narrow it down your focus. Where am I going to focus right now? Narrow, bang. I'm just going to focus on just one person, or maybe just self expression. That's it. Yeah. Nisarga is saying, very true, sir. Playing sports for me is the only time when I'm in dharana. Absolutely. When you're with the person who you truly love, you love somebody's company totally, and the time just flows off and there's no thought. That is also dharana. It's one pointed, narrowed attention. Narrowed, okay? It's so much using your senses, but in that you choose one sense, and in that sense also you narrow it down. So just simply, I would say this to practice in real time. I would say that choose sounds, which is very, very powerful. So you go out, you enjoy, you do everything. See that you're focusing. See, when your focus is on the sounds around you, the chattering of the mind will not happen. Always remember that. You understand? Because see, mind, it's very difficult for the mind. If you see, mind is like a hook. I've said that in Bodhisattva. If you hook your mind onto something, your mind can't go in other places. If you hook your mind onto sounds, your mind can't think much. If you're all by yourself, you can just think about sounds. You just hear the sounds, narrow it down. You can do that. Mm-hmm. Choose that focal point. Choose any one sense and you will be in dharana. That is dharana. Okay. Yeah. By default, it will hook to negative. But Nisa is by default, it will hook to negative. Yes. Sound is very powerful, sir. Yes. By default, yes. If you don't give your mind a positive hook, it itself will find a negative one. I've said that, and that's what Nisarga has quoted my line in the Bodhisattva. One of the things you got to see, your mind is like this, my friend. It's, if you ever ask like a shape, kaise uska aakar hoga? Your mind is like a hook. It is like looking for something to hook upon. Hook. You got to hook it to something. If you don't give it a hook, it will itself find something negative. So you can just hook onto something very, very, just nothing. So that's what I say. Get into some work. Koi bhi kaam karo. Whatever you want to do some activity in your life. Don't just sit in isolation. Never sit in isolation. Do any work you want, and in that work also you decide which sense organ you want to focus more, and narrow it even further down. The beauty is in narrowing. It's not just, oh, I want to use all my senses in the moment. Let's do it. Fine. It will not work. In that, you choose another sense. Only one or maybe max one. It's just the eyes? Is it just the ears? Okay, am I just going to speak? Or let's say if you're eating, what a beautiful taste. Enjoy the gulab jamun if you're eating. Just totally there eating the gulab jamun. Whatever. I mean, just saying, I love gulab jamun. So any dish you're eating, you're just there eating it. And when you are totally enjoying that beautiful dish, there will be no thought because your mind, dharana matlab wahi hai yaar, man. What is the yoga? I mean, what did Patanjali said? What is yoga? Yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Nirodha matlab simply stopping these thoughts, the vrittis. Vrittis are simply this chattering of the mind. And dharana is a very, very powerful. And if you practice every day, when you speak, you just speak. When you listen, you just listen. When you walk, you just walk. So narrow it down when you're walking. You can just experience the sensation of your feet. Everyone, just let's do a quick exercise. Please, 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 if possible, you can just get up wherever you are. Please get up, just listen to my sounds and start moving in very slowly like a tortoise. Slow, very gently. So move very gently. Hear my sound. And when you're moving, get complete focus on your feet touching the ground. Feel the temperature of the ground. Keep walking, go slow, very slow. Keep walking in. Enjoy your feet touching the ground. Enjoy it. Get your total focus, narrow it down. Enjoy, experience the sensation of the ground touching your feet. Is it cold? Is it hot? Move very slowly, very, very slowly. Chalo, 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 bade aaram se chalo. And your mind is totally hooked onto experiencing the sensation of the ground. Focus there, total focus there. What is the narrowed focus? Take it there in your feet. Just there. Keep walking. And as you're walking, Kaplan, let's shift. Let's shift your dharana. Let's shift your focus. Now, as you're moving, shift your focus to the sounds around you right now. Okay? Focus shift करो अपने कान पे लेके जाओ. Just hear the different sounds as you're walking. Just hear the random sounds in your room as you're walking. You've shifted your focus from your feet to the ears. In as you're hearing the sounds, please narrow it even further down. Just hear one sound just there. Any one sound if you could hear. Choose any one sound. Beautiful. Okay, you can just come back. We are not only keeping our mind busy, we are shutting it down. नीता जी, हम जी रहे हैं, मन नहीं जी रहा. हम कौन है? हम मन नहीं है. हम चित्त है, हम आत्मन है, हम रूह है. हम जी रहे हैं, मन की सत्ता खत्म हो गई है. दैट इज धारणा. इट इज नॉट keeping the mind away. It is we who are leaving. Okay, the mind is gone. You see certain. I mean, people who are really enlightened. You know, if you have seen when they speak, there's so much there. Their energy is there. You're just in that moment. Why you feel connected to certain people? It's because there's a dharana. And when you are in the, see, dharana helps you to be totally living in the moment. When you live in that present moment, you're in direct connection with the creator and his creation. When you live in the dharana, that itself means you're living in the present moment. And when you live in the present moment, you're in direct connection with the creator and his whole creation. And when you are, so many of the times your length of dharana increases, you will experience a lot of joy, laughter, peace, madness. You'll just, things will happen automatically. And this happening is going to be positive, not a negative. You know, how anybody has experienced something that you must be with your friends or in your office, and you said something wonderful, and everybody appreciated you, and you're like, "Yaar, maine kaha kha ye? Did I say that? Oh God!" How anybody has experienced something like that? Maine kaha shit? Yeah. And you, so that, if you have said something or you have did something, and you like, oh my God! So you really tapped into your own self that moment, and you surprised yourself in that moment. That is the time when you are in total dharana. Okay, any which way. So just practice this, my friend. You can practice the chakra dharana, watching your breath, watching this light between your eyebrows, internal dharana. Especially my focus is in real time when you're living a real life. जब दोस्तों के साथ है बस वही. For example, you're taking the bottle. So you see, it's so much about you choosing the focus. Again, I'm saying this. Dharana means using your senses into the present moment, and in that you choose which sense you want to narrow it down and focus more upon. And when you do that, bang. For example, let's do this. For example, listening. Okay, I've practiced this many years back. Years. How you can use years when somebody is talking to you. Now, I'll say something, and I want you to just visualize that. Okay, just visualize that. Dharana means using any of your one sense in total, narrowing it down. So, for example, if I'm saying something, you got to visualize that. Okay, so your mind doesn't go here and there. For example, let's do this. Ah, I saw a beautiful red rose, a beautiful girl with a pretty smile, gracefully watching that rose. Everyone just visualize. Understand dharana. This will help you in your listening skills. You see certain people who are good speakers. Certain people who are good speakers because they are good listeners. And a good listener is nothing but who visualizes what the other person is saying. And when you visualize what the other person is saying, you are into that moment in dharana. You're using your ears. If I don't know, any of you have a conversation with me. I usually don't speak. I just listen and I just visualize and I decide not to speak. I'm totally in dharana. And many people say, I love talking to you. They love talking to me just because I love listening. Okay, that's nothing else. I'm just there when I'm listening. Any which way. So let's do this. Use your dharana, use your ears. When somebody's speaking to you, just visualize this thing. Okay, so I'll again do that. Let's be in dharana while listening. So I saw a beautiful red rose. There was a wonderful, beautiful looking girl having a gorgeous smile, beautiful eyes. She walked gracefully towards that red rose. She took a hand towards the flower and she was about to pluck it. But then she decided not to, because she had heard her best friend saying that if you love someone, you don't grab, you don't take it away, you don't rob them, you don't pluck them. You add value in their life. You give more, you don't take more. So she decided when she looked at the rose, she's not going to pluck the red flower, but she is going to water the plant, take care of the plant, because she loves the red rose. I just said like this, whatever. This time you should have, I don't know, you saw that beautiful girl. You saw that red rose. You saw that friend talking to another. Yeah? You understand? Even if somebody is talking about philosophical things, when you cannot visualize, you can create concepts, as if somebody is creating drawings. In your school also, in a college, maybe anywhere, you learn anything new. If somebody is talking about different topics, G into M1, M2 upon R square, everyone just visualize it. Come on, let's do this. What is G into M1 upon M2 R square? Anybody can tell me what is that in physics? Let me see. G into m1 upon gravitational force. And that is the old one by Newton. Okay, not by Einstein. So if I say G into m1 upon m2 upon r square, I want you to see G in your mind screen. Just see, I'll just say this: G into m1 upon G into m1 upon m2, m1 into m1 into m2 upon r square. You can just visualize that. G into m1 into m2 upon r square. I mean, what am I saying this? What has this to do with dharana? Dharana is everything. Living in the present moment. When somebody's saying, you visualize, you just be there. When listening, be there. When speaking, be there. When eating, be there. Even if, let's say, it is advised to not do any multitasking. But let's, for example, if you're eating the food and if you're watching the TV, okay, now you have to choose. You're eating the food and you're watching the TV, which should not be done. And ek hi cheez karo, dil se karo, must karo. But for some reason, if you're eating the food and you're watching the TV, but if you're not having the dharana on even eating the food, if you're not even focused on watching the TV, you're eating the food, you're watching the TV, but you're thinking about someone else. In your office, what will happen? Oh, what if this happens? It's completely bizarre. It's the worst thing that you can do. So what you can do is, even if you're doing something, like eating the food and watching the TV, you choose dharana. Jab main kha raha hu, you be totally focused on eating, shift the dharana to TV then. Watch that actor. Okay, he's a police. Okay, narrow it down the focus. Police ke naam pe kya likha hua hai? Badge pe. Vijay Rathod. Okay, Rathod. Vijay Rathod. Nice, yaar. You watch that. You watch that badge. You take the spoon. You focus. Shift your dharana back to your hands. You understand what I'm saying? Any senses you use, you choose the focus. It will come through practice. But this is the biggest siddhi. This will help you to live in the present moment. When you are, if you're cleansing your utensils, you don't think about what happened yesterday night or what happened with your friend. No, you just cleansing the utensils and your focus. You use your eyes or you use the feel of the touch of the water, the tap water, if it is cold or hot. Just be there. Either you see your more dominant focus could be on experiencing the coldness, that cold water, or it could be just watching the utensils. Or maybe the sound of the water falling on the utensils. And you're just there in that moment. That is the beauty. And when you have that, my friend, when you have this kind of practice of dharana in everyday life, no negativity. Man ki satta chali jati hai. No thoughts, no emotions. I mean, the thoughts, the level, the quantity of the thoughts just disappear. Right? You feel so much at peace and joy. You're getting it? So that's what it's dharana. By the way, how many of you are following what I'm saying up till now? Just type FY in the chat box. We're coming to the close of today's session. And then, okay. So, kya hai dharana? Desha bandha chittasya dharana. Dharana is holding the mind. Pakdo, chhodna nahi hai. Kahan pe hold karna hai? Using your senses. Or senses mein narrow. Practice it. This could literally change your life. Rather, this will change the experience of your life. The quality of your life will it will just become so much better. If you see certain people happy, it's not necessarily that they have nice, beautiful arrangement in their life. It's just that certain people are in dharana. Okay, fine. Thank you. I'm reading your comments. Sumit, Chetan, Saruna. So quickly, we have done with the dharana. I'm going to tell you quickly what is dhyan and then samadhi. Chalo, aage badhte hain. So we are done. Let me just share this. And this is where we are. Okay, so here we are. So using senses to narrow down and observing breath, start with Sukha Kriya. So if every day you want to practice this, internal dhara, you can start with Sukha Kriya or Anulom Vilom, very much similar. You can take your hands like this. Okay, and you can put you can close your one nostril, breathe in from the one and exhale from the other. Like this, you can do Sukha Kriya. You can also use like this. Okay, breathe in deep and slowly exhale. It's like a U. Every day, every morning, usually we do that. That will help you. This breathing pattern will help you to narrow it down. Do it every day. And then you can slowly do the chakra dharana if you want to practice. Very, very simple. Okay. Or you can simply do the Sukha Kriya. But remember, it's complete focus, right? Pratyahar is must and positive physiology. Okay. So my dear friend, very, very important. Pratyahar and positive physiology. In order to practice this dharana, what I talked about, it is very difficult and literally impossible if you take pile and abundant, like so much of tons of information, and then you say, I want to be in dharana. Very difficult. Okay, if you're just scrolling reels, if you're watching YouTube, OTT देख रहे हो, फिर इतना इतना ज्ञान इतनी, then your mind is in motion, and to bring it to dharana becomes really difficult. So you must practice as much as possible pratyahar. Okay, kam se kam, as little as possible, take the ahar through your five senses. And these five senses will help you to be in dharana. Kam se kam. Am I saying that? No, I don't take anything, just be in a cave. See, why people, have you ever thought? There's a logic, there's a logical reason why the yogis went on the Himalayas, or they went on the mountaintop. There's a reason they went into the caves to do the meditation. क्यों? प्रत्याहार अच्छा होता है. Withdrawal of senses. The food of the mind literally comes back to zero, because there's no information that they are usually taking. Their mother or their wife is not saying, अरे क्या है, बाजार से 2 किलो गुड़ लाया क्या, शक्कर लाई क्या, नहीं लाया, अरे आपको तो कुछ अक्ल ही नहीं है. So then that husband will start pondering, oh, he doesn't even care, I'm meditating. So this thing happens. तो भाई अच्छा है हम हमारे गुफा में जाए, हमारे मस्त जाके we sit on the माउंटेन टॉप. प्रत्याहार शून्य हो गया, धारणा लग गई, धारणा में आ गए, ध्यान हो जाएगा, समाधि में आराम से पहुंच जाएंगे. ओके, इसलिए फिर क्या है, वन ऑफ द रीजन ऑफ बीइंग सन्यासी or taking the brahmacharya is this reason. This is one of the reasons. So that is the thing. But भाई हमको अच्छे से जिंदगी जीनी है, मस्त जीनी है, enjoy करना है. So make sure as little as possible. Instagram, Facebook, make sure you at least do what is in your control. Your boss is not in your control. Your wife, your parents are not in your control, right? Instagram, Facebook is surely in your control. YouTube, to a larger extent, is in your control. जो भी हो सके, make sure that you reduce the intake of information. प्रत्याहार अच्छा होगा तो धारणा अच्छी होगी, धारणा अच्छी होगी तो ध्यान होगा, जरूर समाधि भी लग जाएगी दिन पे. So just remember this. And second is positive physiology, my friend. Okay, if you are sitting in your life with your with your slouched, when you're living your everyday life with your slouched, back slouched, your face dropped, you're speaking very low, there's no energy in your voice, and you have your legs, arms crossed like this, the shoulders crossed. When you have this close physiology, also then dharana is very, very difficult. So you must have a chest out as many times. See, 24/7, it's not possible. I understand, as much as possible. So chest should be out. When chest is out, the breathing, naturally the breathing happens beautifully well. Chest should be out as much as possible. Shoulders out. Chin parallel should be there as much as possible. Legs, hands should be free like this. Imagine I speak just like this. And I speak, today we are going to learn about dharana. And dharana, you will just go to sleep, everyone. So there's smile on my face. My hands are open. Chest is out. It gives you, it helps me to be in dharana. So if you want to be in dharana, make sure you practice positive physiology. That is, chin up as much as possible. Chest is out. Shoulders are back. Your back is straight and erect as much as possible. Very important. Your legs are many times as possible uncrossed. Arms are uncrossed. Pratyahar and positive physiology are key to get into dharana. Okay, and dharana mein ho gaya to maza hai bhai sahab. So that is dharana. Okay, let's just move. We are just closing the topic. So that is the power of present moment. Okay, so what I was saying here. So what is? Let's come here. Yeah. So we have seen samadhi. We have seen yama, niyama, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, withdrawal of senses. Ahar ka withdraw karna, the information. We saw dharana today, right? And what is dhyan? See, dharana nahi hai to dhyan ho hi nahi sakta. Yeah. Dharana is very key towards dhyan. Dhyan is, everyone, nobody on the world will tell you, but being very honest, I just have practiced, and I can tell you with my neck out, dhyan is doing nothing. The definition of dhyan, nobody will tell you. Doing nothing is dhyan. That's it. And that's what I'm saying. Dhyan kiya nahi jata, ho jata hai. So if you do dhyan really good, if you do dharana really good, dhyan will happen. In dhyan, maximum, if experientially, I will tell you, the core of dhyan is there's nothing, there's nothingness, there's shunya. If you touch the base with dhyan, and as you're coming close to dhyan, let's say you're just there, you'll be able to see the thoughts. Okay, you'll be able to see your thoughts from a distance in dhyan, and then slowly you'll shift to nothingness. It's just nothingness. Okay, but that will only happen to dharana. So dhyan yahi hai. Meditation, whatever we call as meditation, usually it is a corrupt, usually what we see here in the world, it's a corrupt practice. Rather, it's a corrupt way of expressing. Concentration is dharana. Looking at a flame is dharana. Visualizing a god is a dharana. Visualizing a chakra is a dharana. Dharana. Watching your breath going in and out is a dharana. Watching a flame between your eyebrows is dharana. जब धारणा गहरी होती है तो ध्यान हो जाता है. Right? When the dharana becomes really deepened, when the experience becomes deepened, ध्यान happens. ध्यान कर नहीं सकते हो, ध्यान होता है. Right? When you do dharana in such a beautiful way, you will reach a point of nothingness. Okay? But you will know that there is nothingness. It's very difficult to explain, but just know this, that there it's alert awakeness. For example, you would say, sir, मैं जब सो जाता हूं, if I go to sleep, there is also nothingness. Right? If you go in a very good sleep, there are no thoughts, you have very deep sleep, mast, अच्छी नींद, सुकून की नींद लग गई. Even then you would say that it's a nothingness. So is it meditation? No, it's not meditation, because you're not alert there. Right? You don't know that you're sleeping. You're just, nidra kya hai ki you are not alert. Right? So it is, you can call dhyan as alert restfulness. You're alert. Here you're not alert. In sleep you're not alert. Okay? Kuch ho bhi jayega kahin pe, you don't know. You're not alert. In dhyan, you're alert that there is nothingness, but you're not thinking about it. But you're alert. Okay? That is dhyan. You're alert. You can experience it, but there is no thought. But there is somebody who's a watcher, who's just witnessing in the beginning thoughts and then just experiencing nothingness. But he's alert. He's not like sleeping. The person is alert. There is alert wakefulness or alert restfulness. Okay, so that is dhyan. अब समाधि क्या है? Samadhi. Samadhi, it's transcending. Simple, if you call like dharana as one pointed attention, or you call dharana as, in layman's language, concentration, then meditation can be called as doing nothingness. And samadhi can be simply called as transcending. Transcending. You are transcending. When you reach to a point of samadhi, there is nobody who's watching it. There's no witnesser. It becomes one. For example, if from dharana you reach to dhyan, which is nothingness, but you are just aware that there is nothingness. You are alert about your restfulness. But when you reach to the samadhi, that is transcending, then there is nobody who's witnessing. You cannot, if you are witnessing, then you are not in samadhi. You become the one. For example, very difficult to put this, but imagine there is an ocean. There's an ocean. आपके लिए मैं ocean लेके आया. Imagine this is an ocean, okay? This is an ocean. In ocean, there is this water. All of a sudden, a drop falls in the ocean. Now, what will happen? Can you separate the drop from the ocean? The drop has become the ocean, right? Samadhi means you have become one. There's nobody who's witnessing it. Unlike meditation, there's nothing that is happening, there's nothingness, but you are alert, you're witnessing the nothingness. But in Samadhi, you become the one. You become one. There's no witnesser to witness. There's nothing, there's no awareness. There's just oneness. That's why it's very difficult. And there's to explain that, that's why it just has to be practiced. Dhyan to ऐसा होता है. So Yoga Sutras of Patanjali says that you have to go through Yama Niyama, Asana Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi. It's a process by process. You can't, just snatch onto Dhyan. Pakad lo, Dhyan kar lo. It can also happen naturally to some people who have been, as in Hinduism, it is said that we live many lives. And most of the Indic religions, Buddhism, Jainism, Sikhism, Hinduism, Indian religions believe in rebirth or reincarnation, and we say that we've been living many lives. Certain people who are naturally inclined towards spirituality from many lives, for them it happens very subtly, very easily. It's like you reach 99 like a Tendulkar, and you got out, you got dead in your last life, and you got in this life, boom, just had to score one run. You're just this much away, and you just got into a deeper states of consciousness, or it happens because तुमने इतना काम कर चुके हो in your past life, and in this life थोड़ा सा भी कर दिया, you reach to a higher level. So for some people it gets much easier. For certain people who are not aligned to spirituality, or who may not have practiced enough in their life, self-inquiry or any kind of spiritual alignment is not there for them, it becomes a little difficult. But we all have to reach there. So it's like A.R. Rahman. Somebody says, what is so special about A.R. Rahman? How did he become such a great musician? In his past life, he must have worked so hard, and in this life, he got the fruits. Somebody said Mozart. You must have heard in Western countries. Mozart, such a great. At the age of 7, he became a legend. How is that possible? Because he worked so much in his past life, it just worked. In 7, he knew everything. At the age of 16, Adi Shankaracharya wrote Vedas, Upanishads, everything. I mean, he rewrote it. Okay. And, he created beautiful, beautiful text. He rewritten the Upanishads, the Vedas, and he left the earth at the age of 32, resetting the Hinduism in a much profound and more sophisticated way. How it all happened, yeah? At the age of 16, सारे Vedas, सारे Upanishad learn हो गए, सब कुछ पूरा धर्म की फिर से स्थापना कर दिए, एंड चले भी गए 32 साल में. यहां तक नौकरी नहीं लगती कई लोगों की 32 साल में. How it all happened? Because so much of effort had been put in the past lives, and it just gives you, it's like an investment that you do. So that is it. So what I'm really trying to say is we all have to go to Yama Niyama. It's rules and regulation of life. I mean, rules and regulations, certain discipline has to be there. And slowly, you will surely come, and you will be able to reach to the higher hand state. So that's why the Shakrishi meditation will give you. The more and more you practice the Shakrishi, it will really help you in reaching from Yama Niyama to slowly, Dharana, Samadhi. Okay, slowly it will happen, and just happens. So what is the reason of coming? Okay, how it could be. Okay, I'll just answer your questions. By the way, so have we finished today's thing? Okay. So that is it. And this dharana is so much like living in the present moment. It will help you to totally be there in the present moment. Got it? So do practice. Shakrishi is very, very powerful in helping you to live in dharana. Because in Shakrishi, we also use Omkar in the beginning, right? That Omkar, what it does is it cleanses the inner thoughts. That inner chattering is the sound of the Brahmand or the creation itself. So when you do the it kind of paves, it cleanses the thoughts in your mind, and it gives you the space for dharana. So Shakrishi is very powerful. You can do that. So that's what is dharana. Please practice. Last I will say, and then I'll take few questions, and then we'll wind up. So what is dharana? So we saw we saw the 8 limbs of yoga. There are 2 types of, not 2 types of, but you can say yoga itself. It's the Hatha Yoga or the Tantra by the Nath Parampara, which is going from body then towards the mind. But the other one is from, just starting directly on the mind, working on the mind. Yoga Chitta Virud, Yoga Chittasya Chitta Vritti Nirodha, which is a method of Patanjali Yoga, which we saw today. Patanjali has written yogas, who has written four padas, four what you call the chapters, which is uh, Samadhi Pada, Sadhana Pada, Vibhuti Pada, and Kaivalya. Kaivalya kya hai? Moksha. Okay, these are the four chapters, and these chapters actually revolve around the eight limbs: Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dhyan, Dharana, Samadhi. And in that, today we watched what is Dharana and how to do Dharana. And what is Dharana? Putting it in a nutshell, Dharana is using your senses totally in the moment, and in that sense, you narrow it down to any one sense. To that one sense, you even narrow it down even further, and just be there in that moment. That is dharana. ध्यान धारणा करते करते ध्यान लग जाता है. ध्यान is not doing anything, it just happens, right? And then and dhyan is witnessing. It is alert wakefulness, alert restfulness. Again, I'll go back to the word. Uh, he said, I think Sumit said that, sir, is it something like mindfulness? To a larger extent, yes. Hosh is awareness. Sada hosh mein rehna. Sada. Dharana is a way to be in awareness. Okay. होश, सदहोश क्या है? जो सदा होश में रहने की कोशिश करता है, who is trying to be in the present moment through his senses. In the dharana, in the total moment, is sadhosh. So mindfulness is so much like dharana. But dharana is typically is like a tool to be in the present moment. It's the awareness to be in the present moment. Okay. So mindfulness goes very simple. So that is the thing which we watched. What we saw dharana, we saw dhyan. In dhyan, there is a witnesser, somebody who witnesses. The awareness is there, who's witnessing. There is alert wakefulness, there is alert restfulness. Okay, it is unlike sleep, right? And in samadhi, there is no witnesser. You just become the one, like a drop in the ocean. Okay, and is pe kya charcha karna? Swad. It's like it's talking nonsensical, talking about samadhi, because it is telling somebody how the gulab jamun taste. There are people who will talk great about gulab jamun, the PhD they will do, the science of gulab jamun, from where it happened, what is the chemical formula, molecular formula, what is the shape, color. But a person who has tasted gulab jamun, he doesn't need to know all that crap. He just wants to enjoy the taste of gulab jamun, for example. Similarly, it's just the taste that is really, really important, not the intellectual. Here, the intellectual knowledge should just drop. But dharana, to understand dharana, we need intellectual understanding. But then happens. It is like just tasting it, and same is samadhi. Okay. Thank you. So we'll take few questions here. So what is the reason of coming any random thoughts while sleeping, and how it could be cured? Okay. पहले तो reason पूछ रहे सुमित जी कि what is the reason that any random thoughts come while sleeping, and how it could be cured? Now, how it could be cured, why it comes, for the first reason. When you go to sleep, you have ran your body, you've ran your mind throughout the day. All right. And whatever that has happened, your mind, kind of comes up with all those thoughts. Whatever, because if you see, many of the times the quantity of thought that come in the morning are less than the quantity of thoughts that actually come while going to sleep. Okay. Because your senses, your five senses hasn't taken much of the data. It just woke up in the morning. Okay, what is this? Let's see what we can do today. But while you go to sleep, you must have met your friend, you have done your job. There's so many things you did. And all those data that pops up in your mind, right? Bang. And on top of that, to make things worse, we see a lot of YouTube videos. We see all those data that we multiply the information even more. And then the random thoughts, multiplies even more. So one of the reasons for the random thoughts that are coming while going to sleep is because information that we take through our senses, which just pops up in our mind. Okay. Night. And is there something wrong about that? There's nothing wrong about that. It's pretty natural. Thoughts are going to come here. Okay. So thoughts will come up. They will pop up. It's just that, You make sure that you take less information, so there's less thoughts. To to overcome these many thoughts that are popping in your mind, to go to sleep, that's why we have given certain tool which is called as sleep like a baby. In your meditation section, in your bodhisattva journey, there is a meditation section, there's a bodhisattva course. In the bodhisattva course, there is meditation section. In that meditation section, there is something called as sleep like a baby. Okay, that is a powerful audio that I've created. In that, I help you to go to sleep using yoga nidra and everything. Okay, so even if the thoughts come, you practice the sleep like a baby and you will go to sleep like a baby. And babies don't have too many thoughts when they go to sleep. That's why they sleep like a baby. Okay, so if you have thoughts, there's nothing to worry. That's part of life. Make sure that you take less information so you have less thoughts to deal with. And if certain thoughts are troubling you, somebody said something nasty to you, it has hurt you, or maybe there's something, something that is worrying, okay, which is existential problem. Okay, I'm talking your existential problem, not imaginary problems. And oh, what will happen if this? No, 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 no. It's just something, that problem has popped up in your life and you want to deal with that. I've given in the sleep like a baby scribbling exercise. Okay, I asked you to write certain things. And what you do is when you write certain things that are bothering you, the thoughts, you put it on the paper. What do you think? You're inking it. What do you think? You're inking it. Think what you ink. Just ink what you think. So when you put your thoughts on paper, boom, your mind becomes empty, right? So you do that. That's a journaling kind of thing is there. So sleep like a baby will help you to put your thoughts on paper. Yeah, it disturbs sleep. Obviously, it disturbs sleep. That's why sleep like a baby is a very important method, in which what we do is, one of the things, if certain problems which are existential, we make sure we write them on a paper and we resolve those conflicts. Certain problems that are actually happening in life, in that day, something has happened, somebody said something, there's a conflict in your mind. That conflict will not let you sleep. So what we are doing using that sleep like a baby tool, we are resolving that conflict by writing it on the paper in a certain way. So you resolve your conflict. Then I asked you to do certain things, to breathe in deep, then slowly breathe, breathe, breathe. And then I asked you to slowly lie down in the bed. Then I make your body from your feet till the top of your body. I make your body loose and relax. When your body relaxes, the mind relaxes. When the mind relaxes, thoughts come down, 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 down to zero, and then you go to sleep. So in middle of the sleep like a baby audio, many of you would go to sleep. Once upon a time, Debashish, one of us, Bodhi, he asked me, "Sir, I'm listening to sleep like a baby, but I'm going to sleep in between." I said, that is the purpose of the video audio, that you should go in sleep. So practice that. Okay, practice the sleep like a baby before you go to sleep. You just have to do like 5-10 minutes, and then make sure in between the audio you go to sleep. That's it. Yeah, absolutely. Practice it. Practice it. Any more questions you have, you can just unmute yourself or put your question. Any confusion you have about today's topic we did, dharana, let me know. Please do type, or if you want to just say something, you can just unmute yourself. You can just type me in the chat box. So I'll unmute you. So if you want to ask any question, you can just throw a question. Yeah, if you have any question regarding today's session. Thank you. Yeah, you can ask me. Dharana is the most powerful thing. See, why dharana is important? Because whatever practice you do, even Krishna comes and he gives you like a powerful tool. That tool you can practice in that moment of sadhana, which you call a practice, right? You sit and do something. But what about the daily life? When you're working with your colleagues, when you're doing your daily chores in your life, tab kya? That sadhana should come into reality. That is dharana. It's it's a nonsensical way of living. If you are very quiet, you're beautiful when you're meditating, you're doing any kind of practice, but when you go in real life, you are miserable, then what's the point? Right? The beauty is, वो गंध जो है, वो सुगंध जो है, वो बाकी जिंदगी में दिन भर वो घूमे, वो गंध हर जगह उसका गंध आए, सुगंध आए सबको, आपको भी आए. Okay, it's important that your practice should carry forward in your daily life. Can't able to unmute? I think I'm doing it wrong. So please once again, how to do Sukhasan, which we are doing in morning. Sukhasan is not Sukhasan. It is called as Sukha Kriya. Sukha Kriya, I'll just unmute you. Sumit, give me a moment. I'll just answer Neetaji's question. Yeah. Yeah. Sukha Kriya, simple hai. Koi nahi badi baat hai. Sukha Kriya is, this is Ida Pingla. You know that Surya Nadi, Chandra Nadi? They're like Nadi. Okay. Like channels, energy channels. Right? To balance your nadis, is your Ida Pingla, what you got to do is you use a breathing technique called as Sukha Kriya. Sukha Kriya is take your right hand like this. Okay. Just keep the three fingers like this. You put your both fingers down. Keep it like this. Not like this. Hold it like this. Use thumb on the right nostril and breathe in from your left. Hold that little finger. Exhale. Simple है इसमें कुछ नहीं है. If this is getting difficult, what you can do is take your hand like this. Take this index and the middle finger down. Like this you can do. Okay, very important here. Very, very important. Here also dharana is. Dharana कभी छुटनी ही नहीं चाहिए. Dharana is not like this, my friend, that you will say, चलो चलो धारणा करते हैं. No. Dharana is every moment it should be, you should be doing dharana, or you should be in awareness of dharana. For example, if you're doing Sukha Kriya, what you're doing is, you're breathing in from your left nostril, exhaling from your right. Again, breathing in from your right, exhaling. Now, while doing this activity, how can you do dharana? You can choose anything. What you can choose? I would suggest visualize, do the dharana. You just see that breath is going in, अंदर गई. अरे क्या बात है, यहाँ तक आई, यहाँ से निकली, धीरे 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 धीरे. Okay, you're breathing in. You watch that breath going in, गई 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 गई. अरे यहाँ से बाहर आ गई. You're watching it with your eyes. You understand? So while doing Sukha Kriya also, you're doing the dharana. So you're actually watching the inhalation and exhalation. You're watching it. To that, you can give like a blue color to your prana or your breath. You can give like when you're doing Sukha Kriya. देखो 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 जा रही है, बाहर आ रही है. Very simple. Anything you can use your sense and you will be in the moment. Okay. So that's the way when you're doing the Sukha Kriya. Got it? Yeah, inhalation from left nostril and exhalation from the right nostril, and then alternating it. So, example, you always start from the left, and whenever you're stopping, you'll be stopping the Sukha Kriya. Make sure you end on the same nostril. For example, you start from your left, you exhale from your right. You breathe in again from the right, exhale on the left. You continue this process. Let's say you're done with the 4 minutes or 6 minutes. You end it on this right nostril. Okay, you exhale and you're finished with your Sukha Kriya. Jahan se shuru, wahi se khatam. Okay, very simple. And watch your breath like dharana, like blue energy going in and coming out. This Sukha Kriya is like you. Left se aayi, right ko bahar gayi. Right se andar, left se bahar. It's the you, ulta you. Okay, like this. And you visualize it. Dharana bhi ho rahi hai, pranayam bhi ho raha hai. You understand the beauty? And that is what yoga is. Yoga is so much about union. You know, you're not doing one thing and you're leaving the other. Your mind, your body, your everything is in one moment at the same time. So when you're doing Sukha Kriya and you're thinking about, I need to make paneer bhurji today, or what, paneer malai. Okay, paneer malai banate nahi. आज तो आज चिकन करी नहीं, आज श्रावण चल रहा है. श्रावण कब खत्म होगा, कब खाएंगे चिकन? या चिकन तब खाया था जब दोस्त के घर पे गए थे. What is the point in doing all this? You're doing here and thinking different. That's the problem that is happening. So when you're doing the Kriya, you're doing the Dharana as well. So you're there in the moment. Okay, so watch your breath going in and out. Got it? Thank you. So yeah, Sumit, you can just ask your question. Sumit, and whatever Sumit is asking the question, that question could be yours as well. So don't take it like, "Arey yaar, uska sawal hai, what's the big deal?" It will help you. Yes, Sumit, you can ask your question.
Yeah, fine. Thank you, sir, first of all, for that great session today.
Thank you. Yeah,
Like,
pleasure.
Like there is so much lesson I get to know from your today teaching. And the basically question is basically mine is like for example, like in a daytime, like in the morning or in the afternoon, I got something. I get an angry due to some reason, like if somebody say something to me or somebody cheated me. So that thought basically get to come down the next day. But how I can control on the like in a very like a very fast, like in a 5 or 10 minutes, so that I
Fine.
can focus on my work.
Okay,
This
first of all,
just
yeah, sorry.
yeah, this disturb me a lot. Like if somebody like cheated me or say something like in a lewd manner, so it is just
Yeah.
for 5 to 6 hours. So how it could be like in 5 to 10 minutes I can overcome that.
Good, nice question. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, if you ask anyone in the outside world, people will give you very poetic answers. People will give you, अरे उसने लिया दिया ना, तुमसे कुछ लिया तो नहीं ना, ना, हाँ, तो उसकी बात को क्यों सीरियस ले रहे हो? But many people will give you these answers. You will see that on YouTube and elsewhere. But that's not how the reality works, right? If somebody has said something to you, it is going to hurt, and that's completely fine. If that has hurt you, first of all, acknowledge yourself that it is fine to get hurt. This is my opinion. It's fine to get hurt because you only get hurt because when you have expectations, and you have expectation to only with those people who you love. You don't have expectation from somebody randomly walking on the street, right? So it's okay. So first of all, whatever you feel, it's just acknowledge मैं इंसान हूँ. It's nothing beat, okay? But make sure that this if you're getting angry, make sure these episodes doesn't become you the part of your personality. It just happen once in a while, right? If you get angry, yeah, okay, someday this anger is happening, that means it's one of the those rare happening, and this is fine. Number one, acknowledge your negative emotion. Number one. Number two, resolve the conflict. Okay, this conflict, when somebody has said something to you, these thoughts will enter your mind, and it's very difficult to calm them down because they don't just come as thoughts, they come with juice called as emotions as well. Imagine a thought has a covering flavor, and that flavor is a juice called as emotion. So that thought has come up with an emotion. Okay. So that is why it's going to hurt. So what you got to do is you have to take a pen and paper. You said like, sir, 5 to 10 minutes. How can I do that? So you take a pen and paper. Somebody has said something to you. Take a pen and paper. Just write. Step one. What is the event? What really happened? Just write that situation. Whatever that situation, there's no fastest or the simplest way than writing it on the paper. You see, resolving conflicts got to be done. If something has hurt you, okay, somebody has did something to you, you got to resolve the conflict. So acknowledge it. Step two, write the event, what really happened. By the way, sit quietly in some place. Write that event. Number two, number three step is what meaning you have given to that event. Ask yourself, okay, for example, just giving a very lame, like simple one, like let's say you like a girl, maybe you are in relationship and she did not pick up your call. Just giving a random example, she did not pick up your call. You call her in the morning, she did not call till the evening, and you're like, she doesn't respect me, I'm such a fool, and it has started hurting you, right? Okay, that's for example. So what you can do is first step one is to acknowledge. Step two is writing what situation happened. This thing happened. I called her. She did not pick up in the morning. It's still evening. She hasn't called me back. Okay. Okay. That's the event. Number three is what is the meaning you have given to this situation? She did not pick up my call. That means she doesn't value me. She doesn't love me. She doesn't like me. And that means I'm not worthy of being with this wonderful human being. That's the meaning you have given. Step four, you just have to write, what else could this mean? She did not pick up my call in the morning till it's evening. What else could this mean? Right. You have the meaning. Ask yourself, what else could this mean? इसका और अर्थ क्या हो सकता? पहले अर्थ जो तुमने लगाया, that she did not pick up my call. That means she doesn't value me. She doesn't respect me. I'm not worthy of being in her life. She's too good for me. I'm too stupid for her. That's the meaning you have given. Step four is ask yourself, what else could this mean? क्या इसके और अर्थ हो सकते हैं क्या? She did not pick up my call. It could mean that she could be too busy. Is she is not healthy? Is she is not well enough? Is she physically unwell? Maybe her phone is, she lost her phone. Maybe I did something to hurt her and she's just hurting me back because I've hurt her unknowingly. What else could this mean? Am I just thinking too much on this point? Maybe she thinks that, maybe she thinks that I understand that he will understand me because I am in certain work. So what else could this mean? So you create a list of meanings. So what will happen? You have a list of possibilities, and then what you can do, you choose a powerful meaning. Okay, you choose one of the empowering meanings. So you will have certain meanings that you have created. So you have got to consciously choose a empowering meaning. Okay, so for example, whatever meanings that you can choose, and then you just let go. And then you can, last line, you can see, you consciously choose an empowering meaning. The new meaning, the old meaning that you have chosen, that I'm not worth, that is creating a lot of hurt. So you have the next step, you have created, what else could this mean? Different meanings. And out of that, you choose a new meaning, new empowering meaning, that she did not pick up my call on that means that maybe she is, maybe there's something wrong. Maybe she thinks that, whatever the other reason, you have to find an empowering meaning. And then the last statement could be let go. I let go of this negative emotion from my life forever and forever and forever. That's the way you can do. So you resolve your conflicts. If it happens with a person, I would, for example, this, in this case, there is a person involved in this particular case. In this thing, you can just straight away go to that person. You can straight away go to that person and say, hey, how are you? Yeah, I mean, I know you were busy, but I made a bit of crap in my mind, thinking that you maybe you you don't value me or something. Just let me know what really happened. Why didn't you pick up my call? Maybe I understand, but I just made a mess in my mind. Help me to transform this negative mindset. Rather than creating negative meanings in your mind, you can straight away go and have a conversation with that person. And then this, you don't confront, in not like, why didn't you do that? Why didn't you pick up my call? What do you think about yourself? Not like that. With a lot of humbleness and generosity. This happened. So this is the way, my friend. You got to take a pen and paper. You got to work it out. Write the event. First is acknowledge. Write the event. What meaning you have given to that event. Third is ask yourself, what else could this mean? इसका और मीनिंग क्या हो सकता है जो मैंने दिया. Fourth is choose an empowering meaning. When you have a list of meanings, you will be able to choose an empowering meaning out of that, right? When you have possibilities, we choose empowering meaning. When we do not have possibilities or possible options, we choose the worst thing possible. She did not pick up my call means she thinks I'm an idiot, I'm worthless, I'm stupid. Oh my God, wait a minute, hold on your horses. When you create a list of meanings, Are, yaar, I heard that she was supposed to go by the train. Maybe, she was traveling the train. Maybe she was about to catch a flight. That's why she did not pick up. And then, whatever. So we usually end up with catastrophizing. So when you create a list of meaning, choose an empowering meaning. And then you say, let go. I let go this negative emotion from my life forever and forever. This is the way you can do it. And if it is with a person, if it is with a person, you straight away go and talk with a lot of love. Love will resolve almost all the problems. Fight will never. It will just fuel the fire. That's what I feel. If something big happens, got it. So you got to resolve it. Write it on paper. There's nothing else. And 5-10 minutes, bang, and done, dusted. When there is a big conflict, if there is no bigger conflict, it's just a small thing. Make sure you shift your mindset to something that is more empowering. You hook your mind to something. If small things are bothering you, you make sure you hooked onto something that is more energetic. Yeah. Also, one last thing I will say, that if in your life you want to do something which is really exciting, let's say tomorrow you're in NASA. Okay, if you have tomorrow, you'll be flying in your space. Will you be worried about this thing that has happened? Somebody who made you angry? No, because you have something so massive thing to do tomorrow. ये बेकार के लिए मुझे वक्त ही नहीं है. और जब इन चीजों के लिए, when you get caught up in small things, that means there's nothing exciting happening in your life. That means there's no goal in your life. You're just living the life for the sake of living. You understand that? If let's say tomorrow you are supposed to be giving, you were to be given the Bharat Ratna award, you'll be just lost in those thoughts. Everybody's going to watch me. I'm going to Bharat Ratna. And if somebody, small things will not, will bother you. Something exciting hai kal. So zindagi mein kuch, whatever you're doing in your life, make sure there is so much of excitement, so much of enthusiasm is there. Your outside life really pulls you to do, there's something pull is there. Yeah. So that the small things doesn't hurt you. So the question to answer is this acknowledge and this change the meaning. Number three is go to the person, go to the source, get the conversation done. And number four is जिंदगी में ऐसा कुछ करो कि ये छोटी चीजों के लिए टाइम नहीं रहेगा. Right? Yeah, got it. If imagine Elon Musk has this $1 million deal he has to crack, and somebody just scratches his car, he's not going to go out and say, "मेरे गाड़ी के साथ ये क्या किया तुमने बेवकूफ?" No, he's got bigger things to handle. So if you don't have bigger things to handle, exciting things to handle, you will fall in small pits. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Whatever you have learned in today's session, do write in the WhatsApp group. Yeah. And Sumit, above everything and everyone, it's a own journey. And always remember, always resolve your conflicts. These internal conflicts must be resolved. Internal conflicts are analogy would be like if you're walking on the road, it's monsoon time, and somebody is going with full speed, car mein ja raha hai jor se, and that person, puts all the mud upon your clothes. Your face is covered with the mud. Your body is covered. What are you going to do? Are you going to go and sleep like that with that mud on your body? You'll first wash. You'll take a bath. Similarly, if somebody has said something and that has really created pain inside of us, we got to wash those stains. We got to resolve those conflicts. Many of us keep those unresolved conflicts inside our mind, and they reach to our heart and our body, and then they come out in form of diseases, physical diseases. Okay, very important to resolve conflicts. And I think Bodhisattva, we have taught you, I trained you on how to resolve your conflicts. You can kindly check them, and there are various other methods. Okay, so thank you. Just resolve your conflicts. Yeah. Thank you so much. Take care. Maze karo. I see you directly on Monday night, Monday morning. I'll tell you, I think we'll be doing the morning sessions from Monday as well. Evening ecstasy nahi karenge. We'll do the morning sessions. For Saturdays, enjoy the weekend. Make sure you, what I said, I'll share this recording. You save this recording in your mobile somewhere. Practice dharna, my friend. I'm very confident. If you practice this dharna, whatever I said, even 1%, the more the time will go, you will get deeper in this dharana. I'm telling you, this is the path to enlightenment. Dharana itself. Anybody know what is the method of Osho? Yeah, before we leave, I just want to ask you, like, really bore you with the one thing. Anybody knows what is the method of Osho? Sadhguru, people talk about Shambhavi, inner engineering, and then at the end he does the Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. But what is the path of Osho? Nobody knows. I'll tell you what is the path of Osho. Osho did various meditations, dynamic. We also do the Nataraja meditation. These are like, okay. But the path of Osho is a 4-step process. And this 4-step process, Osho himself has said this. The first step of enlightenment, as Osho said, the number one was watching your thoughts. Number two, being present in everyday activities. If you're drawing water from the well, he said that. When you're doing anything, just be there. Dharana. Jo kar rahe ho, wahi karo. Totally there. So daily activities, being there in that moment. Step 2. Step 3 is watching your emotions. That's the most sukshma. And step 4 happens on its own. If you just have to work on the first 3 steps, 4th step comes on its own. That was the path of. He did not give any kriya. He did not give any kind of a very special technique. He gave tons of meditation, tons of meditation. But the simple was all this meditation. Even what meditation I'm trying to give you is to come to this simple understanding: is watching, keeping distance from your mind, watching your thoughts. Whatever in daily activities you're doing, dharana usme, just be there. When you're drinking water, drink water. When you're speaking, speak. When you're watching, watch. When you're eating, eat. And if you're doing multiple things, select one focus, any one sense, and narrow it down. So similar, like Osho. Step 1, watching your thoughts. Step 2, daily activities, dharana. Step 3, watching your emotions. That will happen. And number 4 will happen on its own. So he did not do any kind of asana. If you see Osho, he's like twisting his hands and everything. Nothing. And and it is possible in real time. If so if you go to the ways of the mind, it is possible. So practice dharana. I'm telling you, it'll liberate you. It'll make you more joyful. If you practice bodhisattva, that is the self-discovery videos, along with Shakrish, and then you do the dharana in everyday life, practice it. I'm telling you, I'm not kidding. Life will be beautiful. Forget about everything. Life will be so, you'll be bursting with happiness and joy. Practice it. Jo kar rahe ho, wahi karo. Got it? Practice. I'll share the recording. Thank you so much. Be 100% what you do. Jo kar rahe ho, pura. See, total involvement. 100% means what? Total involvement in whatever you, total involvement, not partial involvement. Total involvement. टोटल मतलब टोटल बोल रहे हो तो बस इतना सुकून के साथ मजे लेके बोलो. आहा, क्या बात है. When you enjoy speak, so does that mean, again I'm saying, you're not listening to the sounds, you're not experiencing the touch? Obviously you are, but you are consciously choosing your focus on the mouth or the speech. You choose the focus. Remember, in dharana, you choose the focus, the atman. So I'm choosing the focus right now to be just speaking. After the session goes, bang, there's no focus on what I'm speaking. I'll choose some other focus. Okay, practice. Practice makes a man, woman, everyone perfect. Take care. I'll share the Google review. You want to say something on that, you can put a 5-star, write anything you want. And whatever you learned today, you can, in one sentence or few sentences, you can write in the WhatsApp group. So I'll know what you have learned, and rest of the members will, learn from you as well. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Hare Krishna. See you on Monday morning. Love you all. Thank you. Hare Krishna.